Hi, welcome to day 5 of working with arrays and collections in JavaScript. Today we're going to take a step back a little bit and go back to a little bit of having to explain our code in a way to where we are showing how we're going to do it. So we yesterday worked with map and some these little bit more extensive arrays with objects. Today we're going to take a step back just to actually focus on being able to use predicate functions. And the predicate function most often used is filter. And so what we do is we traverse the array. And what we do is every time that we traverse the array, so if, for example, with this array, is that we run a test. And so for today, what we're going to do is for each of the items in the array, we're going to collect only the videos with a rating of 5.0. So if you'll see here that we have 4 objects, and in here we have one object with a rating of 4.0, another one with 5.0, another one with 4.0, and one more with 5.0. So our goal is to be able to go through the new releases, the array here, and for each of the items in the array is that we are going to only take those that have a rating of 5.0. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to, each of the objects we're going to think of as a video. So what we're going to do here is that we have got to run a test against each of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this video and we're going to look for the rating. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an equality check to see if it's 5.0. What do we have here? A video rating. Maybe I'm off here. So if it does, then what we're going to do is we're going to push the video in there. So if video rating so maybe it's what are we looking at here? If no. My goodness, what is going on here? Always return false since the number and numbers have no overlap. What do you mean? What's our video? It's a number, a video rating. For each of the video, so for each video, we're going to do a check. This will always return. And number have no overlap. How's that possible? That's the part about here where let's just try something here. All right, so let's just push the whole video. Now, for some reason, the rating, as you can see down here, is 5.0. Now, so for this particular video, we have a rating. So we have 4. See if it gets mad at that. False 5.0? How is that possible? The times when you get stuck. I just did this. I'm giving away where I do my stuff, but that's all right. Why? So it's. How's that always? Let's do something here. Goodness. So what we have to do is we have to do a check and see if the video rating is still not going to like that. If video rating, videos.push, video. Oh, this is irritating. That's why I do this live, because I don't want it to be to where I want you to be able to see the same problems that, okay. So we have a videos empty array. We have the new releases. It's like, so yeah, so I mean, that's not going to work. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I am. So there's a problem. But that's still not going to solve. Let's put this here. All right, so let's go through this again. So we have the new releases, and so we have four objects. Let's say it this way: we have 4 slots in the array, and each one has an object that it references. Why isn't there rating? Well, let's see what happens. All right, so this one, we are pointing at the 0 index. So we'll call it the first one. So it's referencing this object. So now let's see what happens when we do the conditional check. Okay. There we go. You know, one of my problems is I really don't look at things too well at times. I just jump to this is not an array. No point for the rating to be array. It's only going to have one rating. Oh my. So this is where you get a chance to see that when you do this without doing anything beforehand, 5.0, is that you get a chance. There we go. So now in our videos, we have 2 of them. So we're going to push that. Yikes. Let's console log this. So you'll see here is that the filter will go through and it'll do a conditional check. So the conditional check is actually what we call our predicate function, that if it passes this check, this test, then it is going to push this video into this videos array. So we've taken 4 of them and we now have it to where we have 2. Let's double check that. 2. So if we let's do this. I want to edit the code again. It's probably always good for us to take a look and see. And let's visualize this. All right, so we put the new releases, the whole thing, everything that's in this array is going to be stored in the new releases. It's an array of 4 with 4 objects, and each of those that are going to be stored in an array, and each of the indexes are going to point to a reference of the object. Because remember, arrays and objects, that both of them, they're references. So we have a reference to each of the objects, and from what I believe is that, so yeah, it's got to be. So the actual whole object is not in this array slot. It's just a reference to the objects. So let's go forward here. And if we go to the first one, we're going to check and see. And we're not going to return anything because it did not meet the test. Now we're going to go and test this second one. And let's go and make sure we can see as much of the console as possible. It did. We can tell now that it has stepped in to the conditional check, and now it's going to push that video. And let's let it finish. Sorry. Oh, it's see, there's another part of me. So this is another part about functions here with the for each, and so it's going to do the whole collection. So it's going to be lazy, and it's not going to console log the videos until it's done all the testing of each of the objects in the array. So there it just tested the third object, which was 4, and it did not pass the predicate. And so we're going to go to the 4th one, and it's going to go inside. It's going to add it, and now we're going to console log those. Let's let it console log. And here we have them. Can we make this bigger? There we go. So we have both of the objects, both of the videos, with the rating of 5. So this one was a little bit more, goodness gracious, what do I say? I don't think I did my best explanation here, but that's the what happens when you work with code without having it being scripted. So that's it for this one. This was day 5, working with predicates and using the doing a conditional check. Now, what we're going to do next time for tomorrow is that we're going to introduce filter. So that is for that is the rest of today, and I will be back again tomorrow. Thank you.